Welcome back to History of Simple Things. Today's topic comes from one of our viewers, Sasuser MC3075. Thanks for the suggestion. You asked, why are screwdriver handles shaped the way they are? If you've ever picked up a screwdriver, you've probably noticed that its handle isn't simply round. Instead, it's covered with ridges, flat sides, and a rounded end that seems oddly specific. These features appear on countless screwdrivers, regardless of the brand or where they're made. So why do they all look so similar? And is there more to their design than meets the eye? Stick around as we uncover the hidden engineering behind one of the world's most familiar hand tools, right here on History of Simple Things. The screwdriver has existed in recognizable form since at least the 15th century, appearing not long after threaded screws became more common in Europe. Early versions were simple forged metal shafts with wooden handles that were often cylindrical because they were easy for craftsmen to carve on a lathe. At the time, screwdrivers were mostly used by skilled tradespeople rather than the general public, and little attention was given to comfort during long periods of use. As manufacturing expanded during the Industrial Revolution, screws became standardized. Factories produced tools in much larger numbers, and more workers relied on screwdrivers every day. It didn't take long for manufacturers to notice that the shape of a handle could dramatically affect how efficiently a person worked, even if the metal tip itself remained largely unchanged. Before engineers began refining handle shapes, they first needed to understand what actually happens when someone turns a screw. Tightening or loosening a fastener isn't simply about pushing with your hand. It requires torque, which is the twisting force applied around the center of the screwdriver's shaft. A handle that is too small limits how much torque your hand can comfortably generate, while one that is too large becomes awkward to grip and harder to control. The challenge wasn't just making the tool stronger, it was finding a shape that matched the way human hands naturally produce force. This balance between power, precision, and comfort became the foundation of modern hand tool design, long before ergonomic engineering became a recognized field of study. That is why today's screwdriver handles rarely have a perfectly round profile. Those raised ridges and subtle contours give your fingers consistent contact points, reducing the chance of slipping while increasing friction between your hand and the tool. Flat sides serve another purpose. They help orient the screwdriver in your hand, allowing you to sense the position of the tip without constantly looking at it. On many screwdrivers, these flats also prevent the tool from rolling off a workbench, a surprisingly common problem in workshops. Instead of decorating the handle, these shapes quietly improve control, making each turn feel more stable and predictable while reducing wasted effort over hundreds of repeated movements. The rounded or bulbous end of many screwdriver handles is another carefully engineered feature. When driving larger screws, the wider back portion allows the palm to spread force across a greater area, reducing pressure on any single point of the hand. This lets users apply more twisting force without discomfort. Some precision screwdrivers intentionally avoid this shape because they are designed for delicate electronics, where fingertip control matters more than raw power. By contrast, heavy-duty screwdrivers often exaggerate the bulbous end because mechanics and construction workers regularly need much higher torque. Even the choice between a long, narrow handle and a short, thick one reflects different engineering priorities depending on the intended task. Modern materials have also transformed handle design. Traditional hardwood remains durable, But many manufacturers now combine rigid plastic cores with softer rubber overmolds. The hard inner structure transfers torque efficiently from the hand to the steel shaft, while the softer outer layer improves grip, especially when hands are sweaty or oily. Engineers carefully select textures that increase friction without creating painful pressure points during extended use. Some premium screwdrivers even use multiple materials molded together, balancing strength, comfort, and durability in a single handle. These advances are based on extensive testing, including grip force measurements and ergonomic studies that examine how muscles and joints respond during repetitive tasks. One of the most interesting aspects of screwdriver handles is that there is no universal shape because no single design works best for every situation. Electricians, mechanics, carpenters, and electronics technicians all use screwdrivers differently, so manufacturers optimize handles for different priorities. A mechanic may value maximum torque, while a watchmaker needs exceptional precision and delicate control. Some handles include hexagonal sections that allow a wrench to provide additional leverage, while insulated screwdrivers must meet strict safety standards that influence both their size and shape. Every curve, ridge, and flat surface represents a compromise between competing needs, proving that even an everyday hand tool is the result of countless engineering decisions. The next time you pick up a screwdriver, it's worth taking a closer look at the handle instead of the tip. Those ridges, flat sides, and rounded ends weren't added to make the tool look different or to stand out on a store shelf. They are the result of centuries of refinement, combining physics, ergonomics, materials science, and real-world experience into an object most of us rarely think about. It's a reminder that some of the smartest engineering isn't found in complex machines or advanced technology, but in ordinary tools that quietly evolve until every curve has a purpose. And sometimes, the simplest objects tell the most fascinating stories. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.